Hi guys! Today I'm going to be talking about my first impressions of the Makeup Geek Mammy palette. Just received it in the mail the day before yesterday and it took a lot to get this. I think you can still sign up to pre-order it, so you won't get it right away, but I think they're just taking pre-orders to see how many more to make sure everyone gets one. So you can do that. If you follow her on Twitter, it's the best update that I have found about the Manny palette or about her website at all with new releases and all that jazz. My first impression of this palette was I knew this was going to be like cardboard, but it honestly feels really heavy. Not really heavy, but a lot heavier than I thought it would be. It feels very luxurious. So it just feels really, really nice. Like, I was expecting it to be like light and flimsy, but it's just this really, like, the mirror, it doesn't stay up by itself, but it's just, it feels really heavy. It's crazy. I love that it has a mirror because I use these mirrors when I'm getting ready. I love when palettes have mirrors. It drives me nuts when they don't. Here is the beautiful palette up close. It does have a magnetic closure. And there's the big mirror. And there's the eyeshadows that you get. I wish, the front I think is pretty. I wish it was like the box it came in though. It doesn't make sense to me. It's the Manny palette, so why wouldn't it come in this box? That just makes more sense to me. The box it came in is so pretty, you know? So pretty, and I think this should have been on the front. It just makes more sense. On the back has Manny describing about this palette. This palette retails for $45. You are getting more eyeshadows, you know, than you would if you purchased them singly because they are $6, and then for foiled eyeshadows are $10. And there are 9 eyeshadows in this palette, so you are making out pretty decent. You're saving a little bit. Now I'm going to insert some swatches so you guys can see how those shadows perform. This first color is called Artemis, and it's just like a shimmery off-white color. In pan, it reminds me a lot of her original shadow called Shimma Shimma. This one is in the color Beaches and Cream, and it's a very light peachy matte color. This is one of the foiled shadows, and it is called Luna. It is an original shadow in the Manny palette, so you can only get it in the Manny palette. Kind of like a rose gold shade color. Super duper shimmery. This color is Cosmopolitan, and it's a really shimmery peachy coral color. And this is not an original shade, so you can get this anytime. This is Sora. It is an orangey brown color, and it is an original color for this palette. So it's not one you can buy on its own, and it's matte. This is Frappe. It's another color you can get anytime. It's a medium brown also, and it is also matte. There it is. Here we have Insomnia. This one she used to sell as a pigment, but this is the pressed version of it, so you cannot buy the pressed version, but you can buy the pigment, and it's beautiful. It is super duper shimmery, and a duochrome shadow, green to brown. This next color is Mars. It is one that you cannot purchase on its own either as of right now. This one does feel very chalky. It's just this intense red color, almost like you just ate a bunch of hot Cheetos and got that all over your fingers. But the texture does feel really chalky, which they did kind of warn people about because of its color. But it is a matte, bright red. This last color we have is kind of like a matte, deep plum brown, and it's called Aphrodite. And there it is. And this is also an original color, so you can't purchase it on its own. It's a very wearable palette for every single day, so if you're intimidated because of these two, I wouldn't let that intimidate me at all. because the rest of them are very neutral. You have great blending crease shades, you have great all over the lid shades, you have a brow bone highlight. So it is a great palette for everyday use, and it's also a great palette if you want to get a little more creative with different colors or unique. That's what I like about this palette. It's a unique neutral palette. So you have pops of color, but it's not your regular, oh, here's a pop of purple or here's a pop of blue, because I feel like that's what neutral palettes do. They're like, oh, and then we're going to add pops of color and it's going to be blue or purple, which makes sense because those are very flattering, but I think it's just awesome that they added two very unique colors. A must-have, that's up to you to decide. For me it was, because it's a unique neutral palette. For you, another neutral palette might be more worth it. Like if you really don't care about these shades, there's so many neutral palettes out there nowadays. Pretty much in every high-end brand you can think of. If you are interested in this, I'd sign up for the pre-order right away. I don't know how long they're going to keep taking pre-orders for, so I would just sign up as soon as possible. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing, and I'll talk to you guys later. If you have questions, just leave them down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Bye.